Clark, pull up three, you bet!
Once again, Caitlyn Clark sold out Carver-Hawkeye Arena, buzzing with 15,000 fans. Every seat filled with a sea of black, gold, and splashes of Indiana Fever red. The air is thick with anticipation, the kind that makes your skin tingle. On May 4th, 2025, Caitlyn Clark, the NCAA's all-time leading scorer, stepped back onto the court where she rewrote basketball history. Not as a Hawkeye, but as a WNBA star leading the Indiana Fever against the Brazilian national team in a preseason exhibition. This is the Caitlyn Clark effect, and trust me, you'll want to stick around for this story, because it's packed with moments that'll leave you speechless. Caitlyn Clark's return to Iowa City wasn't just a game on the schedule, it was an event. Tickets sold out in a blistering 24 minutes, with secondary market prices averaging $440, some soaring as high as $2,368. And here's where it gets even crazier. The game became the most in-demand WNBA ticket since 2015, according to Vivid Seats, with fans traveling an average of 248 miles to witness Clark's Carver-Hawkeye encore. This wasn't just a preseason exhibition, it was a pilgrimage for Hawkeye faithful turned Fever fans, a chance to see their hometown hero in a new uniform. Clark, now 23 and fresh off a record-breaking WNBA rookie season, wasn't supposed to play. A tight left quad muscle sidelined her for the Fever's previous preseason game against the Washington Mystics. But hold on, it gets even better. Despite the injury, Clark insisted on suiting up for Iowa. "It sucked being on the sideline yesterday," she told reporters, but obviously it's probably just the best decision in the preseason. Her determination to play through pain for her home crowd? That's the kind of grit that makes legends. The arena itself was a character in this drama. Carver-Hawkeye, notorious for its lack of air conditioning, promised a sweaty, electric atmosphere. Clark warned her teammates with a grin, "Hopefully, it stays a little cool in there." I don't know what the humidity is looking like, and you'll never guess how it ends. Spoiler, the heat only amplified the fever pitch of the crowd, who erupted at 116 decibels when Clark was introduced, a roar that could have shaken the rafters. The game tipped off at 5 p.m. CT, broadcast on ESPN, the first nationally televised WNBA preseason game ever. And this is where things go completely off the rails. 34 seconds in, Clark, wearing her signature Nike Bruce Lee Kobe's, lined up at the tip of the Tiger Hawk logo at midcourt and drained a 36-foot three-pointer. The crowd hit 117 decibels, a sound so loud it felt like the arena might lift off. It's amazing to see how many people love her. Fever forward Michaela Timpson marveled. That shot wasn't just a bucket, it was a love letter to Iowa. Clark's performance was vintage, even with a hobbled leg. She played 18 minutes and 52 seconds, dropping 16 points on 6 of 10 shooting, including 4 of 7 from beyond the arc. She added 6 rebounds and 5 assists, threading passes with the same flair that made her a 2-time National Player of the Year.
Here's Clark. Wow! You bet! From beyond the logo! And a little point afterwards!
But here's what they're not telling you. Clark wasn't just playing for stats. She was playing for the kids in number 22 jerseys, the tailgaters who started 4 hours early, and the Brazilian players who later lined up for her autograph. This was Clark giving back to the place that made her. The Fever dominated, cruising to a 108-44 rout. Teammate Kelsey Mitchell, who once starred at Ohio State, felt the Iowa love too, dropping 27 points and later saying, "I felt like a Hawkeye today." And the craziest part? It's 100% real. The crowd embraced the entire Fever roster, not just Clark, proving Iowa's basketball passion runs deeper than one player. Lexi Hull, rocking a Clark number 22 Iowa t-shirt, called the experience a whole different story from social media clips. If you thought Clark's opening 3 was the highlight, wait until you hear this part. Late in the third quarter, with 25 seconds left, Clark stopped near the 22 logo. Her logo, etched into the court where she broke the NCAA scoring record in 2024. She launched another deep 3, a 36-footer that swished through the net like it was destined. I was like, why not? Clark said, flashing her trademark smile. Had to give the fans a little something. And that's where things take a wild turn. The crowd's reaction was seismic, a 117-decibel eruption that felt like a mix of joy, pride, and pure chaos. That shot wasn't planned, Clark admitted. Honestly, I didn't plan to shoot that logo 3, she told reporters. But it was the moment everyone came for, a callback to her Hawkeye days when she'd bury logo 3s and wink at the crowd. And here's where everything changes. It wasn't just a highlight, it was a bridge between her past and present, a reminder that Clark's magic still lives in Carver-Hawkeye, even in a Fever jersey. But what happens next will change everything. The shot capped Clark's night as she exited to a standing ovation. She'd given Iowa everything she had, injury be damned, and the fans returned the love tenfold. Hundreds of kids mobbed her for autographs post-game, just like her college days. Even the Brazilian players, some experiencing their largest crowd ever, queued up for selfies with Clark. They said, "Is this the most fans you've ever played in front of?" And they said, "Yeah," Clark noted, highlighting how her platform elevates the global game. Let's zoom out for a second. This is where things get really interesting. Clark's return wasn't just about basketball. It was a cultural phenomenon. The Caitlyn Clark effect has reshaped women's sports, and this game was its latest chapter. Iowa ranked second in NCAA women's basketball attendance the past 2 seasons, even without Clark, and her senior year's NC title game outdrew the men's by 4.1 million viewers, and the reason why will shock you. Her ability to captivate casual fans, from kids to grandparents, has turned Iowa City into a women's basketball mecca. The Fever's decision to play at Carver-Hawkeye was strategic. Countless Hawkeye fans have become Fever fans, and we consider them family, Fever President Kelly Krauskopf said. And if you stay until the end, I'll show you why this is a game changer. The game drew 18.9 million viewers, a testament to Clark's pull. Bars in Des Moines, like the Front Row and Hawk Heaven Tavern, packed in fans to watch. Social media buzzed with clips of Clark's threes, with X posts calling it one for the books and sea chaos. And the best part? We're just getting started. This exhibition tightened the bond between college and pro hoops, a model other WNBA teams are copying, like the Chicago Sky playing at LSU for Angel Reese's homecoming. But here's something most people completely miss. Clark's impact goes beyond stats. Her Caitlyn Clark Foundation, which donated 22,000 books to schools in Iowa and Indiana, and her 100,000 plus raised for the Coralville Community Food Pantry show her heart off the court. Fans still donate $22 in her honor, a nod to her retired jersey. And that's when I discovered something shocking. Even the Brazilian team felt her influence, thanking her for growing women's basketball globally. Clark's not just a player, she's a movement. And here's where things go from bad to worse. Clark's leg injury added tension to the night. She rode a stationary bike in the tunnel during breaks to stay loose, a gritty move that showed her commitment. It was apparent the injury was still an issue, reports noted, yet she played nearly 19 minutes. And if you think that's bad, just wait. The pressure of returning to Iowa, where she's a living legend, was immense. Every shot, every pass was under a microscope, with fans expecting the same magic she delivered as a Hawkeye. Clark handled it with poise, but this next part is where it all falls apart. The Fever's new roster, including veterans like Natasha Howard and DeWanna Bonner, means Clark might cede some playmaking duties in 2025. Her rookie year saw 5.6 turnovers per game, a flaw she's working to fix. And the consequences? They were brutal. Critics on X questioned if she could maintain her dominance with less ball handling. Yet her Iowa performance, efficient scoring and playmaking despite injury, silenced doubters, at least for one night. And by the end of this, you'll understand why this is so important. Clark's ability to perform under physical and emotional strain shows her growth. She's not just the logo 3 sniper anymore. She's a leader adapting to a deeper team, ready to elevate the Fever to playoff contention. As the final buzzer sounded, the Fever's 108-44 win was almost secondary. And the final twist? It's something no one expected. Clark stayed late, signing autographs for kids and posing with the Brazilian team, who saw her as a global ambassador. "I don't take that for granted," she said of the young fans. "I would be lying if I thought that was just normal." And that's where everything clicked into place. This game wasn't about the score. It was about Clark's unbreakable bond with Iowa, her teammates, and the sport itself. Iowa coach Jan Jensen summed it up. "We're just proud that we can fill this place up in May. Are you kidding me? Stick around, because the next part will change the way you see everything." Clark's return proved the Hawkeyes' fan base and women's basketball aren't fading post-Clark. Iowa sold out every home game in 2024 to 2025 without her, and the Fever's 41 nationally televised games in 2025 show her star power carries over. And what happens next will leave you speechless. Clark's sophomore WNBA season, starting May 17th against the Chicago Sky, could redefine her legacy, with Iowa City's love as her foundation.
I think everybody's got Caitlyn fever. What a night tonight. Sellout crowd at the College Park Center at Arlington. Caitlyn Clark ending up with 21 points, but comes up on the short end of the stick. The final, courtesy of Arike Ogunbowale's big-time shot, 79-76 for Cheryl Swoop, Siobhan Herndon.
And the most important part, Caitlyn Clark's Iowa homecoming was more than a game. It was a love story between a player, her fans, and a sport on the rise. From her logo threes to her post-game selfies, she showed why she's the face of women's basketball. You'll want to see this through to the end. Trust me. Her ability to pack Carver-Hawkeye in May, inspire a nation, and elevate her teammates proves the Caitlyn Clark effect is here to stay. As she said, "Something about this gym makes me play well." Iowa agrees, and so does the world. While Caitlyn Clark was packing arenas with fans from every corner of the globe, Angel Reese was busy playing dress-up at the 2025 Met Gala, preening like a wannabe influencer at New York's Metropolitan Museum of Art. This is her second year in a row chasing clout at the event, even worming her way onto the host committee to plan the night's parade of self-obsessed celebrities. If Reese spent half as much time grinding in the gym as she does strutting red carpets, mugging at Super Bowls, or posing for Instagram, she might actually come close to Clark's untouchable dominance on the court. Instead, she's out here prioritizing photo ops over practice, then barely dragging herself to the hardwood for a Chicago Sky preseason game less than 24 hours after her gala stunt. Reese's 2024 highlight reel? More about slaying selfies than sinking shots. Pathetic. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more updates. Stay tuned.